Okay, so to begin this off, I'm gonna, if my mic sounds bad right now, I don't know why. I'm gonna try and get a new mic soon, but I'm using my laptop mic again. But, I'm gonna finish off chapter 1 because I stopped, but I stopped at a pretty good place. So, this is just pretty much the ending of chapter 1, and then I'll read chapter 2 shortly after. So, here we go. As Applejack awoke, the first thing she noticed was a wooden ceiling above her. Slowly coming to her senses, she rolled over on her side. Looking around the simple room, she recognized it as her own. The Earth Pony cast a glance out the window. By the looks of the sun, she was able to guess that it was just after sunset. What the hell is going on? She thought to herself. Was it just a nightmare? The door to her room opened. A tall red stallion stepped in, carrying a plate of food. He set it down on the dresser. How you feeling? Well rested, Mac. Thank you. How did I get here? Her eyes went wide, suddenly remembering what happened between her and Dash. The Earth Pony sprang to her feet, forgetting about her previous question. Mac, how long have I been out? Her voice carried a panicked tone. She looked around her bedroom for her hat. It's downstairs, AJ. Reassuring the stallion, somehow knowing what she was looking for. I brought you back a day ago. What? I slept a whole day? She screamed, feeling as though only minutes had passed. I'd love to stay for dinner, Mac, but I gotta find some pony right now. I understand, AJ. Be safe. And with that, Applejack took off toward Fluttershy's home. Applejack's panicked mind made her journey to Fluttershy's cottage seem longer than it really was. She found the timid Pegasus tending to her chickens for the night. Immediately she told Fluttershy what had happened. Applejack, it's not your fault, Fluttershy told her, embracing the crying Earth Pony in a comforting hug. I don't want our friendship to be over, Applejack sobbed. But I'm sure she hates me now. Well, I'm sure she'll still be your friend, Applejack. How about we should go see if she's home? She might feel just as worried, I'm sure. Fluttershy was right. Applejack almost forgot how hurt the Scion Pegasus had looked. The walk to Rainbow Dash's home was short, but it did help Applejack regain her composure. I'll be right back, Fluttershy told Applejack as she flew up to the cloud castle above them. Applejack found herself alone with her thoughts. You know she never talked to you again, right? You're wrong. Even if she didn't feel the way I did, I'm sure we'll still be friends. Even after the way she looked at you, your mind retorted back to her. She just didn't know how to handle it. Applejack's confidence was falling by the second. You ruined the best friendship you ever had. Before she could respond to her own mind, Fluttershy's voice broke the silence. Applejack, help! The timid Pegasus' voice was not as calm and quiet as it usually was. It sounded frantic. The farmer looked up to the yellow Pegasus, swiftly descending toward her, carrying something on her back. Fluttershy touched down seconds later, almost collapsing under the weight of the newly acquired load. Applejack became aware of what she was carrying. Her face recoiled in utter horror at the sight of her motionless friend. It was the worst state she had ever seen Rainbow Dash in, and it scared her. Under her eyes were heavy bags. Her rainbow mane and tail were tattered and almost completely void of the vivid colors that usually adored them. Applejack's mind went into survival mode. Give her here! Applejack rushed to Fluttershy's side, bending down as Fluttershy slid Rainbow Dash onto the Earth Pony's back. As soon as Applejack was sure her unconscious friend was secure, she took off towards Twilight's library as fast as her legs could take her. Fluttershy was struggling to keep pace with the toned Earth Pony. Where are we going? Fluttershy yelled from behind. Twilight's! I'm sure she'll know what to do, Applejack called back, pressing on harder. Twilight was hunched over her desk, reading Canterlot history, while Spike was finishing stacking the remains of her latest studying binge. The library's door burst open, nearly ripping from its hinges. The sudden commotion caused Spike to fall off his ladder, taking multiple books with him. Twilight also managed to fall back in her chair, landing hard on the floor. It took Twilight a few seconds to right herself. She looked at the now half-destroyed door. Applejack stood inside the doorway. A look of pure fright dawned across her facial features. On her back was a familiar speedy Pegasus, who has seen better days. Beside Applejack was Fluttershy, who was now lying on the floor, panting for air. Applejack? Fluttershy, what happened? Twilight questioned, rushing over to help the Earth Pony lower her friend to the floor. Fluttershy found her... excuse me, I lost my page. Alright, found it. Fluttershy found her like this, Twilight. You gotta do something. Applejack pleaded, tears now finally making it down the apple farmer's face. Twilight hugged her friend, comforting her. Applejack, I don't know how I can help. I've never seen anything like this before, she said hesitantly. Applejack pulled away from Twilight's embrace. Well, then you gotta send a letter to Celestia now. A fury of anger and panic rose in her voice. I won't lose her, not if I can help it. Applejack broke down, falling to the ground and sobbing harder than she ever did before by this point. Fluttershy had caught her breath. Well, there was a quotation mark in there, but... Alright, anyway. She started running at her through the Earth Pony's mane, comforting her once again. But what if she's busy? I can't send a letter to her now. There must be another way, Twilight assured, digging through the piles of books to offer a cure. Twilight, please, I'm begging you, please save my Dashie. Oh, well, whatever. Deal with it, pleaded Applejack. Twilight now found tears stinging at her eyes. Afraid of losing her friend, only one solution came to mind. Spike! She yelled, looking around for the little dragon. Piles of books moved. Twilight grabbed the books from her magic, throwing them in all directions. Spike, no time for fooling around. This is serious! She half-yelled, panic gripping her deeply. Take a note, please. Spike rushed over to a small scroll and quill, which had fallen from earlier. Dear Princess Celestia, we have a very big problem, and I'm requesting your assistance right away. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Now send it! Spike took a deep breath, blowing out purple and green fire, engulfing the scroll. Now for the hardest part, Twilight thought. The waiting game. End of chapter 1. That was to sum the rest of it up. I'm liking the story, although I kind of forgot what happened beforehand, because I hadn't read that rest of the story for a while. But I've only read chapter 1. I'm looking forward to see what happens to Rainbow Dash, and if their love will truly happen. What I like about the story so far is that Applejack just truly loves Rainbow Dash. And I remember in the beginning, how this part where, looking into Rainbow Dash's eyes, she just got lost in the beauty of how exquisite they were. And I've always wanted to have that feeling, just being around someone, smelling, when Rainbow Dash walked past Applejack, just the smell of her mane, Applejack was just like, and I've never had a feeling like that, and I've always wanted a feeling like that. But, I'm really liking this story. I'm liking it quite a bit. Chapter 2 coming shortly.